What's going on, champs and champettes? It's FireMonkey here, and if you're anything like the competitive players who have recently been DMing me over on Twitter regarding the blimps on the island and hey, is this blimp going to eventually move later in future updates? Well, I have the official conclusion that I'll be sharing in today's YouTube video, as well as talking about the upcoming 7 vs IO battles that you'll be able to participate in live, including one that might be activating in this current update. So without further ado, let's get into all the information you should know. So firstly, let's talk about the blimps because I feel that this is a main topic that a lot of people are going to be focusing on, and I do want to mention that they have said in the files for every single blimp that's in the air right now, all the ones at the different IO controlled POIs, to eventually crash down onto the ground and be considered a new POI, just being the crashed blimp. And they've numbered it, I think, around 0 to 5, so it's around 6 to 7 blimps total. I'm not sure how many are on the island as of right now, but basically every single blimp that we currently have is eventually going to crash onto the island sometime during the Fortnite season. On top of this, a brand new loading screen was recently added to the files in the most recent Fortnite update, and you can see it on screen right now. This loading screen is codenamed POI Battle, but what it appears like is after one of the POIs get taken over by the 7, what Epic Games is going to do is update and do a little hotfix that makes those blimps at those specific locations that are now controlled by the 7 crash into the ground as a way to play into the whole entire storyline of the 7 regaining control and taking over the IO. But on top of that, it appears that once we finish some of these battles on the island, that we're going to be given that loading screen entirely for free, just for having participated in the past on one of these POI battles. Now, to answer another question regarding blimps potentially crashing on the island, there's been a lot of people speculating, well, if they're going to crash on the island, and if Epic Games is already preparing for this with battles like the Daily Bugle, then why don't we have any files relating to them, except for, POI codenames? And based on everything that's going on, there is a high likelihood that at least one of these crashed blimps are actually in an encrypted folder right now, because as of right now, we have 5 encrypted files left, and one of those encrypted files is set to be an emote. Around 2 of these are set to be new upcoming skins, so that leaves 2 different files for us to speculate about regarding what they could potentially be. So they could have 100%ed just completely decided to encrypt one of the blimps, and slowly as we reclaim different areas, they'll decrypt another blimp that gets crashed down on the island and have that update live in game, just to, add on to that live aspect that the game is changing every week. Now, on screen right now, you're actually going to see some challenges relating to the Condo Canyon area, and that is because we are now going to be talking about the upcoming 7 vs IO POI battles. So firstly, the next battle after the Daily Bugle is, of course, as you can already tell by the challenges, set to be Condo Canyon. And I know a lot of people are speculating, well, if the descriptions are just placeholders, then maybe we aren't going to see this update. However, everything is 100% prepared. Epic Games can enable it at any time. All they would have to do is push a hotfix that updated the actual descriptions, so they don't need a downtime update to actually do the Condo Canyon battle if they wanted to do the Condo Canyon battle right away in V20.10, the update we're currently in. However, Epic Games is already preparing the next 2 battles after this one that they already fully prepared that will most likely be added to the game files next update in V20.20, and these are Coney Crossroads and Rocky Rills. That's right, as of right now, Epic Games plans for these to be the next 2 battles we face when it comes to the 7 vs IO POI, which is very interesting because if we're going into the next game update without actually having even gone to the next phase, because in order to go from phase 0, which we're currently on, all the way to phase 1, we need to do all 4 of these battles, then how are they going to make it so throughout this entire season, all the way up to V20.40, we managed to make it all the way to the final phase, being phase 6, if we're now going to be in our 2nd to 3rd update, halfway through the season, and we haven't even made it to phase 1 yet. Maybe Epic Games plans to ramp up production towards the end and have these battles become a lot more frequent, multiple happening at once or something like that, in order to speed up everything so we can get to phase 6, but it's still something interesting to think about. Now, after phase 6, or battle stage 5 and 6, which is set for V20.20, which I speculate is for Coney and Rocky, they have something called post battles, which is going to be disabled until V20.30. So post battles makes us think that something is going to happen middle of the battle segment content as we finish phase 1, and that makes me think that maybe in V20.30 we're going to get some major lore, or at least something that relates to these battles that speeds up the process, whether it be the IO or 7 tanks for fully releasing, or something completely else like the 7 Choppa. It's still currently unknown, but I would love to hear what you guys think in the comments down below. With that said, however, my name's FireMonkey. If you enjoyed today's YouTube video, consider subscribing and support the content I create, and I'll catch you champs and champettes tomorrow with another YouTube video. Peace out.